Tonight, the mass shooting at one of America's biggest military bases. Soldiers forced to take down one of their own. The scramble to safety at Fort Stewart. The Army saying the gunman targeted members of his own unit. That soldier, an active duty sergeant, using a personal handgun to open fire before being tackled by fellow soldiers. 5 military members shot, all of them somehow surviving. What we're learning about the sergeant's troubling past. The flash flood emergency in the South. 2 people swept away in the rising waters. And the West on fire. Wildfires sparking from Texas to Washington to California and Arizona. Phoenix on track to break a heat record, and the smoke and haze choking the skies on the East Coast. Also breaking tonight, will President Trump meet face-to-face with Vladimir Putin and possibly President Zelensky to discuss a ceasefire? As top Trump officials grapple with pressure over the Epstein files, what we're learning tonight. Also, a bomb threat taking the Texas fight over redistricting to a new level of tension. The Midtown Manhattan shooter's brushes with the law years before his rampage. What body cam and 911 calls just released reveal about his mental health. Claire's, the mall mainstay where so many kids had their ears pierced, filing for bankruptcy. And meet me in Miami, how a trip to the heart of Little Havana transformed Al Roker into his alter ego, Alberto. Nightly News starts right now.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Llamas, reporting tonight from Miami.
And good evening. As we come on the air, the chilling moments on an Army base. 5 soldiers are somehow alive tonight and in stable condition after an active duty sergeant opened fire, shooting them. They were his co-workers and members of his own unit. Moments after he shot at them using his personal handgun, he was taken down by other soldiers and placed into custody alive. You can see some of the chaos here. It happened at Fort Stewart, the giant Army post home to thousands of troops not far from Savannah, where the base was on lockdown following that shooting. Moments ago, the president saying the entire nation is praying for the victims and their families. The suspect? Cornelius Radford is an automated logistical specialist who has never deployed and recently was charged with DUI. But it begs the question tonight of how it happened on a heavily armored base with thousands of soldiers and their families. Priya Sridhar leads us off from Fort Stewart.
Tonight, 5 soldiers shot and rushed to the hospital after gunfire erupted at Fort Stewart in Georgia.
They have an active shooter on Fort Stewart.
Authorities say 28-year-old U.S. Army Sergeant Cornelius Radford opened fire with a personal handgun shortly before 11 o'clock this morning.
The shooting occurred at the soldier's place of work. It did involve his co-workers.
The shooting prompting a 1-hour lockdown on the 60,000-person base that spans up to 280,000 acres.
There's possibly 5 patients. They have both of their EMS trucks on scene.
The Army says the sergeant was apprehended by law enforcement 40 minutes after they were dispatched.
I would also like to thank the brave soldiers who immediately intervened and subdued the shooter. These soldiers, without a doubt, prevented further casualties.
Brigadier General John Lubis from Fort Stewart says the motive is still unknown. He says Sergeant Radford had never previously been deployed to combat or had any known disciplinary issues in his 7.5 years of service. Army officials say they found out today he had been arrested for a DUI in May.
That was unknown to his chain of command until the event occurred, and we started looking into the law enforcement databases.
The 5 injured soldiers are all expected to make a full recovery. 3 underwent surgery. Late today, President Trump saying the suspect will be prosecuted to the fullest extent.
The entire nation is praying for the victims and their families, and hopefully they'll fully recover, and we can put this chapter behind.
Fort Stewart is the largest U.S. military base east of the Mississippi River, home to the 3rd Infantry Division that is rapidly deployed to war zones around the world. Truck driver Ron Peavy says he was about to leave the base when the chaos ensued.
If you were inside, you were locked in. If you were trying to get in, you were locked out, and it became a ghost town.
Priya joins us live now. Priya, this happened on an Army base, so the military will handle any type of prosecution?
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Officials say they do expect this case to be tried in a military court of justice. As for Sergeant Radford, we do know that he was questioned by Army investigators today. Officials say he's currently being held in confinement on the base while he waits to hear more about exactly what charges he'll be facing. Tom?
Priya Sridhar live from Fort Stewart. Priya, thank you. Extreme weather continues to grip nearly every corner of the country. Record heat and torrential rain along with wildfires forcing evacuations. All this as smoke makes the air unhealthy to breathe in more than a dozen states. We get details tonight from Emily Aketa.
Tonight, smoke smothering skylines coast to coast as parts of more than a dozen states are facing another day of air quality alerts.
It's like a constant fog almost. And it's just like doesn't go away.
These hazy horizons are being fueled by wildfires raging in some cases hundreds of miles away.
There's a lot more in my throat.
You feel something's off?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Canada on track for its second worst wildfire season on record, while hundreds in Southern California have been evacuated as firefighters navigate steep, rugged terrain. Gusty winds and dry conditions are fanning the flames and fears among homeowners in Utah under a state of emergency.
It's just so hard not knowing what's happened up there.
Near San Antonio, authorities say a controlled burn grew out of control Tuesday, going on to scorch hundreds of acres and force evacuations. Meanwhile, the Carolinas hammered by back-to-back days of torrential rain. Authorities in Nash County just recovered 2 bodies after they say the pair was swept away by floodwaters inundating their car.
It was deep, it was over my head, and I never got to her.
And in a week of wild weather, the Southwest today suffering through blistering temps. Phoenix expected to reach a record 116 degrees, unbearable for those even familiar with the desert heat. Watch as first responders carry down this hiker from Camelback Mountain.
Heat does not care. It will affect everybody. And not only that, now you're exposing our first responders to this.
And with that, Emily Aketa joins us tonight live from a hazy Poughkeepsie, New York, which is under an air quality alert tonight. Emily, any signs of relief ahead?
Well, fortunately, Tom, the haze will start to dissipate as the wind shifts. Still, for some in the northeast, it marks the 5th day in a row of poor air quality. You can see the sun trying to break through there as wildfire smoke continues to stream in from our northern neighbors. Some lawmakers now calling on Canada to improve its wildfire prevention. Tom.
Emily Aketa for us tonight. Emily, thank you. We want to head overseas now where the war between Russia and Ukraine rages on. But developing tonight, news of a potential major meeting about a ceasefire involving President Trump. Keir Simmons joins us live now. And Keir, is this meeting really going to happen?
Well, Tom, a White House official tonight tells NBC News that President Trump could meet with President Putin as early as next week. It comes after that 3-hour meeting between President Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff, and President Putin inside the Kremlin. That White House official tells NBC News that President Trump is open to a meeting with President Putin, but only if the Russian leader also agrees to meet with the Ukrainian leader, Volodymyr Zelensky. It's not clear that the Kremlin, Tom, would agree to that. And it comes as President Trump threatens on Friday economic sanctions against Russia if President Putin doesn't agree to ceasefire. As ever, Tom, a ceasefire in Ukraine is a movable target. Tom?
Keir Simmons on that major headline tonight. Keir, our thanks to you. Back here in the States to the latest on the Jeffrey Epstein saga and the pressure to release more documents. And tonight, we're learning about changes at the prison where his co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, is being housed. I'm joined tonight by Kelly O'Donnell. And Kelly, it's somewhat of an unusual move.
It is. A senior law enforcement official tells NBC News the Bureau of Prisons has increased security at a prison camp where Epstein accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell was moved last week. This change is described as highly unusual because the prison is designed as a low-security campus. Now, amid intense public interest in the Epstein case, 3 sources had told us a meeting of senior officials at the vice president's residence was expected tonight, with Epstein likely to be discussed. Now, asked directly in the Oval Office, the vice president lashed out at reports and said, "We are not meeting to talk about the Epstein situation." President Trump then used an expletive for total BS, claiming the Epstein matter is diverting attention from his agenda. Tom?
Kelly O'Donnell for us. Okay, we're going to stick with politics here. A bomb threat was called in today to a hotel near Chicago where dozens of Democratic lawmakers from Texas are staying. They left that state to delay Republicans' plans to redraw congressional maps in their favor. Here's Ryan Chandler.
Tonight, a bomb threat at a Chicago area hotel forcing Texas Democrats to evacuate.
We were awakened to an alarm going off in the hotel around 7:30 this morning over the loudspeaker saying there's been a bomb threat made on this hotel. Please evacuate immediately.
Representative John Busey is one of dozens of Democratic lawmakers staying there after leaving Texas to stall a Republican plan to redraw congressional districts. Police say 400 people were evacuated from the hotel as they scoured for an explosive device, but none was found. Authorities have not yet reported the source of the threat, but Busey blames the heated political rhetoric surrounding their protest.
Are you concerned for your safety?
We don't take the rhetoric of Ken Paxton and Greg Abbott lightly. They are sparking a fire in people and zealots that support them. It's unacceptable. Are we afraid? We are undeterred. We're undeterred, and we're going to continue in our fight.
Back at the Texas Capitol, without enough members present, business stood still for a third straight day. Republican State Senator Brian Hughes condemning the threat of violence.
It's horrible to think of someone resorting to violence for anything like that. And so I hope everybody's okay.
While urging Democrats to return.
What's your message to the Democrats who have fled the state?
This is going to get done. The will of the people is going to get done. A quorum break can delay the process. It can temporarily thwart the will of the people, but we'll be back.
And Tom, even after this bomb threat, Democrats tell me they are committed to staying for the long haul, at least 13 more days to run out the clock on this special session. Governor Abbott can always call them back again. Tom.
All right, Ryan, we thank you for that. We're learning new details about the man who opened fire in a New York City office building last week. Police releasing videos and calls documenting the shooter's mental health challenges. Here's Aaron McLaughlin with some of those videos.
Tonight, chilling, newly released footage shows Shane Devin Tamura, the man who opened fire in a New York City skyscraper last week, shirtless, inside his Las Vegas apartment last year, surrounded by police and paramedics, responding to a call that he could be suicidal.
He called his mom, made some statements about not wanting to be here anymore. This is it.
In the footage, you see him calmly point police toward his gun.
The gun's okay. Don't touch it. Don't go near it. Okay.
The officer asks him if he has a CCW or concealed carry weapon permit.
Okay. You do have active CCW? I do. Okay.
Before he's taken away on a stretcher. Part of the stunning collection of evidence released overnight by Las Vegas authorities, detailing Tamura's years-long struggle with mental illness.
Your son is threatening to hurt himself?
Yes. Including this shocking phone call his mother made to Las Vegas police back in 2022, warning Tamura suffered from sports concussions.
He's under doctor's care for depression, concussion, like sports concussions.
A potentially critical clue as to why the former high school football player may have targeted NFL headquarters at 345 Park Avenue, killing 4 people before turning the gun on himself. On his body, a suicide note, demanding his brain be studied for CTE.
What am I being detained for?
In another video released by police, you see Tamura in 2023 in handcuffs, being escorted out of a Las Vegas casino for trespassing.
How am I supposed to cash out?
Why didn't you just leave and come back?
Because they took all my money.
Despite these documented mental health challenges, authorities say Tamura legally purchased a revolver on June 12th that was later found in his car. As for the assault rifle that he used to carry out the attack, authorities say he purchased that from a co-worker who's cooperating with the investigation. Tom?
All right, Aaron, we thank you. And we are back in 60 seconds. Our series, The Cost of Denial, and the plastic surgeon who works with cancer patients. She has gone viral, calling out one of the country's biggest insurance companies, why she now says her surgery center is at risk of going under. That's next. In our series, The Cost of Denial, tonight we have the story of a plastic surgeon who put her own money on the line to open a surgery center that helps cancer patients, but says it's at risk of going under because she can't get into a top insurer's network. Priscilla Thompson has our story.
Do you have an alcohol swab, please?
Dr. Elizabeth Potter says the Austin, Texas surgery center she opened in April of last year is at risk of going under.
Can we please get this implant open?
She specializes in a complex breast reconstruction procedure and says most of her patients are cancer survivors. While she is in United Healthcare's network as a surgeon, her surgery center is not. Why do you think you were denied access?
Money. Money. They have had a PR nightmare of a year. I think they're angry.
Because of the videos you've posted?
Because of all of it.
It's gotten ridiculous that insurance companies really do control when and what kind of care we deliver.
In January, Dr. Potter started posting videos critical of United.
I had another patient come in and share with me that United denied her inpatient stay.
Like this one, where she says the insurer interrupted a surgery in progress.
I got a phone call into the operating room saying that United Healthcare wanted me to call them.
United pushing back, saying United Healthcare did not ask, nor would it ever expect a physician to interrupt patient care to return a phone call. United Healthcare says they did not ask you to step out of surgery.
Yeah, I know. Did they physically make me leave the OR? No. But in 2025, with insurance, when they say jump, I say how high.
Dr. Potter believes her videos are part of why her center remains out of United's network. You think this is retaliation?
Absolutely.
United Healthcare says not so, that its members have sufficient options for care in the region without her surgery center, and that it informed Dr. Potter on October 1st of last year that it wasn't accepting new surgery centers in her area, well before she posted any videos. Dr. Potter says there were ongoing discussions about her center getting into the network that stopped once she started speaking out.
And I don't know how United defines negotiations. There were emails between our consultants and folks at United after October 1st.
United Healthcare insists there were no ongoing negotiations. Potter says she is in talks to join other insurers' networks, but that United Healthcare's ability to close its network is an unfair power imbalance, and without it, she may not be able to keep her center open.
I've got several months.
Months is not a long time.
I'm not sleeping a lot. I took out $3.5 million of personal loans.
Dr. Potter's story discussed at a recent congressional hearing.
United sought to discredit her and is denying coverage for her surgery center.
And letters of support pour in from across the country.
I'm offering you my services for free. I also clean toilets and could do anything administrative. I work for the low rate of free to you. Signed, big fan.
She's raised more than $500,000 in online donations. Still not enough, she says, to stay open. What's at stake for breast cancer survivors and patients here?
Everything. I mean, women's health is embattled. The stakes are human.
Priscilla Thompson, NBC News, Austin, Texas.
Our thanks to Priscilla for that. Up next, the massive wildfires burning out of control in France. The burn zone now bigger than the size of Paris. Stay with us. We're back now with a giant wildfire burning out of control in France, their biggest of the summer so far. Authorities say at least one person has died and that the fire already burned through an area that's bigger than Paris. More than 2,000 firefighters are now rushing to try to put out that blaze. Also tonight, a huge eruption at Mount Kilauea today, erupting again for its 30th time since it started in December. You can see all that lava bubbling out. Kilauea is one of the world's most active volcanoes. And it might be the end of an era at the mall, with Claire's filing for bankruptcy a second time. Claire's is cemented in the memories of 90s tweens known for ear piercings and affordable accessories. The news comes as it faces $500 million in debt. Okay, next up, me, Al Roker, a lot of Cuban coffee, and the best music on the planet. We take you to Little Havana. Stay with us. Finally, there's good news tonight here in my hometown of Miami. I had a chance to show my friend Al Roker around one special neighborhood where my roots run deep. In the heart of Miami, Little Havana beats to its own drum. Everywhere you look, a colorful slice of Cuban culture. It's a neighborhood steeped in history and a place that's always felt like home to me and my family. A must-see spot in my neck of the woods for NBC's finest.
Okay, welcome to a special place we call Little Havana, or La Pequeña Habana.
Our first stop, El Pub, a family-owned and operated restaurant that's been a staple in this community for nearly 30 years.
This is called La Ventanita, okay? And that means the small window. People love having a cafecito here. They walk up, they ask for dos café, por favor.
This is great. Since you grew up here, how have you seen it change?
So I lived here the first year of my life. Right after I was born, my parents had an apartment in Little Havana, and this changed completely. Little Havana has exploded in size. It's a tourist mecca, but there's still certain spots like this place where you can come and you can get the authentic Little Havana. And I'm so proud to be from this community because this community started in places like this, you know, 1-2 streets, and it grew into this big, beautiful city. Muchísimas gracias.
Wow.
You gotta say, que rico.
Que rico.
Que rico.
Que rico.
I mean, that's delicious.
With that, we were off, walking down Calle Ocho, the center of all the action in Little Havana, including this neighborhood original.
2 guayaberas, please. What do you think about this one?
I like that.
There you go. All right, now we're talking. Al, how do you feel?
I feel great, baby.
After making Calle Ocho our runway, it was time to unwind at one of the hottest spots in town, the world-famous Ball and Chain.
Al, before we go, I'm going to give you a secret of Miami.
Okay.
This is the one word you need to know. If you know this, you'll get anything in Miami, okay? It's dale.
Dale.
Watch. Tell the band dale.
Dale.
Alberto, Miami looks great on you. That's Nightly News for this Wednesday. I'm Tom Yamas. Thanks so much for watching. Tonight and always, we're here for you. Good night. We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.